Good morning and happy Monday. My name is Diana and I am a 14th year teacher in the state of Illinois, and welcome to my channel. So it is good to be back, and I don't mean back to school. I mean, I do mean back to school, but I meant that I got my tripod for my car and we can chat on the way to work. So today's Monday, as I said, and it is our first full week back to school. Last week we had Tuesday to Friday, which it wasn't necessarily a full week. It was still 4 days, but it was nice to have that shorter week. But the nice thing this week is that on Mondays we get the early dismissal day at 2 instead of 3. And so it is nice. I mean, even though we'll still be at school for another hour, no children, like I said, is usually okay with me. Anyway, so this week, busy week. This week we have map testing tomorrow and Wednesday, and then we have our ice cream social tomorrow after school, and then we have what else do we have? We have curriculum night, I believe, on Wednesday, and then which is almost kind of like a, not necessarily meet the teacher, because we're talking more about what we're doing in the classroom as far as like curriculum and like what math programs they're learning and like what they're supposed to be learning in those grades, as well as like reading and all that kind of stuff. So we have that on Wednesday, and so we have it staggered out because, you know, some parents have like multiple children, and so they can't all go at the same time, so they kind of stagger it to where it's like, you know, if you have a kids in this grade to get this grade, this kid this grade to get this grade. And so it's kind of like what my kids' school did. Like they did like kinder and first at this time, and then they did like second through fifth or something like that at certain times. So like we had to like leave and come back. But anyway, so yeah, so I think mine is like 6:30 and 7:30. So I get like 2 slots. So if like they miss the first slot, they can come to the second slot. So, which is totally fine. So anyway, yeah, so that's happening this week as well. And then my son has a game today, and then he has practice on Thursday. And then he has a game on Saturday. So it's a pretty busy week for me. So, if you guys like busy, you'll love this week. Yeah, so what are we doing today in 6th grade? So today we have this program called Patterns of Power, and it's supposed to be for our grammar component, and they wanted us to start like supplementing it with our current curriculum, which is Common Lit for middle school. And so because they do have a grammar piece in Common Lit, but it's just, I don't know, it's very middle schoolish, which is totally fine. But this other one, Patterns of Power, is also very middle schoolish. And so even though my students are in middle school, they still have a lot of like foundational skills that they need to kind of work through. And so I've decided to do a new grammar, which is Ideas by Jivy. She does this program called These Mentor Sentences, and it's a really nice program because like she takes one sentence and then she kind of dissects it throughout the week, and she targets like a specific skill for that week, and then uses that sentence to kind of break it down, as well as identify parts of speech. It's pretty cool. I've used it before. She normally does it from, you know, kinder to 5th grade, but I think that my kids will be fine with utilizing it, because there are some things that we come across that I think that A, they probably could use a refresher on, and B, there are little things that are a little bit older. But so like, for example, today this week we're doing possessive nouns, simple subject, simple predicate, and then we are doing irregular plural nouns, or irregular possessive nouns, which is just basically like words that are already plural words that are already plural. And sorry, I'm trying to like get over in the lane, and this person is not going fast enough. But anyway, yeah, so they're already plural, so like mice and teeth and children, and we're just kind of teaching them how to, you know, correctly format it into the sentence if we're showing possession. So it's a little bit more advanced than like the typical like noun, verb, adjective, things like that. And so each day, so like today, we kind of look at the sentence, we talk about what we notice. Then tomorrow, I think they dissect the sentence, which means they take each of those words and they like identify what part of speech each of those words are. Then they do, I think Wednesday, they kind of switch the sentence around a little bit. And then on Thursday, they imitate the sentence, meaning they make their own sentence, but kind of using the same format. And then Friday, we do the quiz. So it's really nice. I like it. So I think I'm going to utilize that instead of the patterns of power. So I'm hoping that they don't really get too mad at me, but it doesn't seem like they wanted it to be a supplement. They didn't need it to be like an overall thing. So, I mean, I'm assuming as long as I supplement something, I think it should work. And then for math, we are introducing power and exponents. And then for Common Lit, we are doing like the vocabulary activity, and then we're reading our first piece today, giving them a little bit of taste of what Common Lit is like, because the 5th grade curriculum to the 6th grade curriculum is a totally different beast. And so it's almost kind of like a shell shock for them, because like even with our math, like our district uses Bridges for K to 5 math, and then they use Big Ideas from 6 to 8. I think they're changing it next year, but they use Bridges, and so Bridges is very hands-on. It's very manipulative friendly, and they break down a lot of stuff, whereas Big Ideas is very traditional and like the way that like they used to teach math before they kind of adopted Common Core. And so it's kind of a little bit of a shell shock for them to not have all that like extraness. And so like last year, my kids in the first like part of math kind of struggled a little bit because it needed to be adjusted to it. And the same thing with Common Lit. So it's going to be an interesting day. We're going to see how well they receive all of this new information. But I kind of warned them in advance, and I told them, you know, it's a little bit different than what you're used to. So I'm hoping that helps. But anyway, but that's about it. And then science, we're just going to start talking about interactions between like organisms and their environment. And then social studies, we're just going to start talking about like Homo sapiens and just kind of like how like the history of humans. So it should be easy, should be fun. I feel like I'm already prepared. I already have everything printed out. I just got to take it out. And like I said, you saw last week, I've already set myself up for success. So that's pretty good. And then I already like kind of planned it out and how everything's going to go. So I'm feeling really good coming into this morning. I'm not feeling good that my tire has a slow leak and my get air light is on. And so it's been on, and I filled up my air and then it went away, but then now it's back. So I have to at some point this week go and get this fixed. But that's not your guys' problem. But anyway, so I'm on my way to school. I will check in with you guys later on today. Let's just take a moment to like look at this. This is crazy. Look at this highlight. It is like beaming. Like, I don't know, like I feel like my face is just like, wow, that is actually a pretty nice highlight. Interesting. Well, all right, go Monday. Yeah, so I will check in with you guys later and let you guys know how things are going. Hello and welcome to the end of the day. Oh my goodness, it was a very busy day for a Monday, and even though we had a short day, it was still pretty busy. So, my day somewhat went according to plan, but not really. A couple of my students that weren't supposed to be with me actually ended up staying with me. So a lot of the stuff that I printed and did for like my intervention, I ended up having to okay, sorry about that. Excuse me, my boyfriend was calling me to just find out where I was, because I'm rushing to get home. If I told you guys this morning, my son has a game today, and so I was rushing because we get out at 2, but I thought for some reason we stayed till 3, but we actually didn't leave until 3:45, so it takes me about 20 minutes to get home. So I'm finally on my way home, well, almost here, and so he was just asking me. But anyway, yeah, so the day didn't really go according to plan per se, and so there was a couple of things, also a couple behaviors that I just kind of like seen, and I was kind of like, ooh, I need to nip this in the butt. So because there were just a lot of like, some of my kids, like when they didn't have anything to do, not saying that we didn't have anything to do, but because of the time frame and not thinking about it being a shorter day, I overplanned, and so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to fit in. And so like the minute that I had a second to think about it, they were like, oh, can we, like, they wanted to do like fun activities, or they wanted to do like free time, and I was like, no, like this ain't that. So it was just a little, little hectic, but I just got home now. I'm gonna get my life together with mom duties, and then hopefully I'll get a chance to hop on and tell you guys about it later on today. If by chance I don't, I will definitely catch you guys in the morning and let you guys know on the way to work. So hopefully you guys had a great Monday, and I will catch up with you guys in a little bit, hopefully.
Gotta protect.
I know, yeah.
Have to protect.
I don't know what he's thinking.
Come on, bud. You got this. Let's go, buddy.
Come on, okay.
Out of the ball.
You got this.
Hey, way to cut. Way to
All right,
cut.
good job, buddy.
Football,
You got this.
Football.
Why is he so bad?
Good cut.
All right, keep it going, buddy. Keep it going.
Way to swing, George.
Come on, be ready.
Out of the ball, George. Right here.
I literally try to climb.
Go, go. Get there.
Good job.
Good job.
Good morning and happy Tuesday. So sorry I didn't check in with you guys last night. As I told you guys, I got home. I had to get my son dressed for his game, and then I had to actually feed him because he was hungry, so he wanted a snack. So I had to feed him and I had to feed my daughter, and it was just a whole thing. And then by the time we got to the game, did all this, I had to pick up my mom. It was just chaotic, but welcome to my life. But anyway, so yeah, I know we had talked a little bit yesterday about what we had kind of went over. And so but yeah, so that was pretty much our day yesterday. So today we are going to be working on we're going to be doing day 2 of our mentor sentences, and then we are going to we're going to do our intervention that I did print out some things for. I am struggling a little bit because I was very spoiled because last year my students were kind of all on the same level, and they were pretty high and they were all on the same level, and so it was a lot easier to kind of manage my intervention time because I didn't have to acquire so many resources because they were all pretty much together in the same realm. But this year, I do have some fluctuation of levels, and so I'm kind of struggling with what I want to do in my small group, and so I've been kind of thinking of the best way to utilize my time. Now I only have 30 minutes for intervention, and so I try to hit every group all week, so maybe 10 minutes a group, which I know isn't much, especially with me trying to make sure these levels go higher and stuff. So I'm just I don't know, I'm kind of struggling with if I should just do maybe one group a day and then just dedicate those 30 minutes or see them 10 minutes each day. I'm not sure. So not only that, but then just thinking about content and what I want to do in there. So I have this program that I downloaded from TPT. It's a reading intervention program, and it's really nice. It's kind of sort of similar to running records, where it does keep track of how many words per minute they read, which is good because I feel like some of them could utilize that. But it also has like each thing, it has like 4 questions, like comprehension questions. It does have a word work section where they, like, in the text, they have to find, like, you know, any kind of part of speech or whatever they're asking for. And then they do have a vocabulary component where they're able to like look up vocabulary words in the text or whatever, and then kind of use them. So I don't know. So I really do like this. And the nice thing is that I can individually have them read it, at least the first time that we do it. And then after that, they just do it like every, you know, they do it every week on their own. And then like the goal is to eventually, like, you know, have them do it and then like monitor them, like maybe like, you know, once every few weeks or something like that, to kind of see how much they've improved. So there's that option that I was trying to do. And then there was the other option. I kind of like went on ChatGPT and kind of just like put in like what, and so it gave me a really nice schedule in terms of like, you know, what I should be doing, like what I should be focusing on in terms of a rotation, like main idea 1 week, you know, inferencing the next week. And it gave me like a really nice breakdown. So I don't know, I'm kind of struggling with what I should do. I'm thinking, just for the sake of beginning, maybe start off with the reading comprehension piece, like the fluency and the running records, and then gradually, as like we continue on in the year, kind of gradually shift my intervention to like those main focuses of like main idea, inferencing, text structure, things like that. So I don't know. If you're a middle school teacher, kind of give me some ideas. Well, which is interesting too, because we did talk about how like middle school really doesn't, and I'm not sure. So if anybody follows me that's in middle school, and you can attest to this, that they don't really do small groups in middle school. So like this is something that, so like my curriculum for Common Lit doesn't really do differentiation or have small group work. It's more so like whole read, independent read, partner read, those things. But it doesn't really have anything where you can pull a small group and kind of work with, which is like the K-5 curriculum. Like they have like the little mini books, and they have like the worksheets that go with it, or the graphic organizers, and they don't have that for Common Lit. So but because we do have them and we do have the time, we want to give them that time, because, you know, as of next year, when they go into 7th grade and 8th grade, they won't have that independent time with the teachers like that. So anyway, yeah, so that was my soapbox. But that's the only thing that I'm really struggling with, is just like my intervention this year. But I think what I said, I think what I'm going to do is just like maybe start with the fluency for the first couple of months, and then move into doing like those content, especially once we start getting into the curriculum and start talking more about those things like main idea and stuff like that. Because they are map testing today. They're doing math today, and they're doing reading tomorrow. So we won't really do much of that in class today. But we will do mentor sentences in the morning, and then we'll do intervention, and then we start testing, and then we'll have our afternoon. So, but that's pretty much it. Nothing new to write home. We do have our ice cream social today. I don't know if I'm going to do the ice cream social, if I'm gonna go, because I have a tire that's got a slow leak, and I need to take it in to have them fix. So or at least see like where the leak is coming from, if they can patch it up. So yeah, but yeah, I will check in with you guys. I don't think I'll be able to check in with you guys at school, because I did promise my teacher partner that I would help her out with some stuff today and kind of go over something. So if I get to school at a decent time, it's 7:22 right now. I told her I'd probably be there by like 7:30, 7:40 latest. So I'll have about, and I think she has duty this week, so she has to be out at 8:05. So anyway, yeah, so I'll catch up with you guys later. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday, and yeah, hopefully the week goes by fast. How's it going? I just wanted to hop on here really quickly to kind of just tell you about our day. So today we didn't really do much in terms of like academics because of map testing, but we did do our SEL lesson, which was super cute. It was on like finding a motivational song, and some of my kids, we listened to I did the Trolls song, Get Back Up Again. I said that was like something that motivated me, that was like school friendly. I mean, I had some others, but I just wanted them to know one in particular. And so it was funny because they had to do where they get to write down theirs, and so a lot of them wrote theirs down, but some of them put there that they didn't want to share it. So because I told them, I said, what we can do is like throughout the week I'll play one of your songs that you pick for like motivation, but a lot of them didn't want to share it. So that was kind of sad, but nonetheless, we did that. We did map testing, and so this afternoon we are going to do grammar, we're going to do ELA, I'm going to try to do science and social studies today, and then so we're going to do our day 2 of the mentor sentences for the Ideas by Jivey, which is basically we dissect the sentence and we like put out like, you know, what part of speech is in each part of the sentence. And then we're gonna do our read for ELA, and then social studies we're supposed to be taking notes on like the very first like human civilization, and then the last thing that we're gonna do for science is I might take them outside to like see if they could find some interactions within their environment, just outside, because that's what we worked on yesterday. So and that's pretty much going to be my days. So I will try to check in with you guys on my way home. I might have to stop at the tire shop for my tire to see what goes on. Hopefully, pray for me that it's just a slight little leak with a nail in it, and then they can patch it up, and not anything too serious, because I hate car repair. I don't know about you, but I hate car repairs, especially since they're so expensive. But yeah, so I'll check in with you guys later. I'm about to eat my lunch. And so hopefully you guys have a great day. I'll check in with you guys later. Good morning and happy Wednesday. Woo, we are at hump day. And it is, my tripod thing is just like not cooperating. It's just been so hard to figure out an angle, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, we have made it to hump day. Today we are doing map testing for reading at about 12:45, so in the afternoon. We also have curriculum night going on today, which, woohoo, yay us. Because the reason why I say yay us is because, sorry, like I have this coffee cup that I got from Super Mario World, and it just doesn't fit in my cup holder, and it's like awkwardly sitting, so I don't want any of my coffee to spill, so I'm trying to figure it out. But anyway, yeah, so we have curriculum night today. I'm scheduled to perform at that's pretty much what it is, perform with curriculum. I have it at 6:30 and at 7:30. So I have not 7:30. I have it at 6, and then I have one at 7. So I have like back-to-back sessions. So if one parent can't make it to one, they can make it to the other, which isn't too bad. I mean, it is a late day, but it's not too crazy. And I mean, thankfully, I kind of already have like my slides from last year. So like I didn't really have to make any slides. I just had to change some of the schedule, and I'm going to change some of my pictures, because I mean, I have nice pictures, but I only have one kiddo in my room that her brother was with me last year, so that's the only one that had seen my slides. So but everybody else is new, so they haven't seen my slides. So if it ain't broke, I ain't gonna fix it. So yeah, so today, yeah, we're doing map testing. We are doing, for math, we are doing some perfect squares. We are doing Area, a little bit of area, not too crazy, just like a little like tidbit intro where they like want them to solve something using area. I think it's just more so the concept of introducing the fact that like area is like squared. And I think that's kind of what they just want to throw out there before they kind of go into like area and the formula of area. So but it's just a word problem, so we're just going to be doing that, and then we're just going to be doing that, and then I'll probably have them work on, so there wasn't any new things on big ideas to do because they had already did the majority of the problems for section 1. So I'm thinking that I might just give them like a worksheet to do along with an IXL lesson. Also during math, I kind of want to pull some of them and go over their MAP scores with them because they did math yesterday, and so I want to have them do that so they can kind of see where they are, and then I can finally put their learning path in for IXL so that they have like basically like a map of what they need to work on for math that I unfortunately cannot provide because I'm supposed to be teaching 6th grade math, and like if they're lacking skills, like certain skills, oh there goes my phone again, if they're lacking certain skills that I'm not teaching, at least hopefully they can practice them. I don't know, but anyway, let me fix this thing and then I'll get back to you guys. 1 second, see if that works. This thing is just a hot mess sometimes, but anyway, so that's pretty much what our day is going to entail. Nothing too fancy, but hopefully I have a double period, or a double like prep period this morning, so I get like an hour. So I'll check in with you guys when I get to school, kind of give you guys the rundown and show you a little bit more of what we're going to do today. We are on day 3 of our mentor sentences, so I'm excited to see, because this one they actually get to like incorporate some of their own like their own words into the mentor sentence. So we'll see how that goes, but I'll check in with you guys later. Happy Wednesday. Hello, we have made it to lunch. I have another lean cuisine today. Sorry, I'm just gonna move you guys back. You're still on my computer. Today was a really good day so far. We did, we had our double specials. We had intervention. I got to check in with some of the kids about just like their work and what they're struggling with, and not all of them, but some. And then I feel like you guys are like in an angle. There we go. And then we did math today, so we did examples 3 and 4. So we did our perfect squares, and then we did learned a little bit about area, and then we did a scavenger hunt. And so I took all my cards down, but basically I just put a bunch of cards around the room. Not really a scavenger hunt because like they would have had to look for them, but I put a bunch of cards around the room that just talked about like the basics of like what the base is, what the exponent is, how you can transvert it into expanded form and then standard form. So they did that, and that went really well. A lot of them did work hard on it. Like I didn't see a lot of people that were just playing. They were, they did work on it. I mean, they did have a little bit of side conversations, but overall they did a really good job, and I'm super proud of them and I'm super excited. I think that they've been doing really good these past couple of days, so I'm happy about that. And then in the afternoon, we're gonna do our mentor sentence, and then we have to take our test for MAP testing. And then, I don't know, I think we're gonna do social studies this afternoon. We'll see how that goes. But we also did a couple of Kahoots. We did a exponents one, and then we did I let them do a fun one for like the last like 5-6 minutes. So they loved it. They thought it was really cute. So I'm super excited. But yeah, so I'll have to print it out and show you guys just kind of more or less what we did. But yeah, so it's been a really good morning so far. So I feel like they're doing pretty good, but we'll see kind of how it goes when the time comes for like when we start getting into the more difficult stuff. Like next week we're supposed to be doing order of operations. So that's going to be fun. But we'll see. I'm hoping, keep my fingers crossed. I'm trying my best to figure out strategies that I can help these kiddos. Because like I said, they are a little lower than my kiddos from last year. But I mean, they are motivated and they're willing to work. And that's what I love about them. So, but yeah, I'm just going to eat my lunch and just kind of chill for a little bit. I have about 20 minutes before I have to go grab the little children, so I'll check in with you guys later. Hope you guys are having a great hump day. And that's what we're gonna, I'm sweating. And that's what we're gonna do for grammar. And then, like I said, we're doing math testing for ELA, and then we'll do social studies in the afternoon. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, so I'll chat in with you guys probably at school before I head out, so that way, because I'll have to be back here for curriculum night. So excuse me, I'll show you those slides later. Hello, it is the official end of the day. My hair is like puffy and frizzy and I'm hot as all get out, but we made it. We made it through curriculum night. I'm actually on my way home now. It is 7:46. And so I'm on my way home from curriculum night. It went really good. I got a really nice compliment from my principal, so I was so excited about that. I just absolutely love him, and I wish I could take him with me wherever I go. But anyway, yeah, so it was really good. The parents were really sweet. They were really nice. Didn't have any complaints. It seemed to enjoy my presentation, and like we just had like wonderful conversations. And so I'm hoping that that continues on. I'm hoping that everything goes smoothly. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. It was a very long day. I'm gonna go home right now. Well, I gotta put gas in my car. It's like 11 miles to empty. Shame on me. But the plus side, my light has not come on. Well, maybe I shouldn't say anything. But for my tires, so I got some time for that. Because I think my son has practice tomorrow. And then after that, Friday, I think I'm available. So I might be able to go and check it out tomorrow. But I'm gonna head home now, probably get something to eat, and then just chill out and go to bed, because we'll have to do it all again tomorrow. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow morning. Good morning, friends, and happy Thursday. As you can see, by the look of my hair, it's just like up and out of my face. Yeah, it was a very long day yesterday, and I don't know, I had a bit of trouble sleeping last night, so I'm kind of tired, but we're gonna make it through. It's Thursday. We got one more day until Friday, and then the weekend is here, so I am all for it. Today, thankfully, is just a regular old day. Don't have to stay late. Nothing crazy. My son does have practice. He has baseball practice this afternoon when I get home around 5:36, something like that. I think 6. So yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm just so tired. What are we doing today in class? I don't know. For grammar, we are finishing up our mentor sentence today, and then I'm gonna show them how to do the quizzes. I was gonna have them do the quiz tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna show them what I'm looking for, because I feel like if I just give it to them, they're not gonna understand it. So we're gonna do it together, and I'm gonna show them how to do it, so that way next week, hopefully they'll have a better understanding of how to, grasp the quiz. And then math, we are gonna do a study guide for, we'll do a study guide for exponents, or maybe I'll just kind of, I don't know, because unfortunately, my colleague is like a day behind me or something. So like she's at like a lesson behind me. So I don't want to move on until like we're in the same pace. So I don't know what we're gonna do for math. I gotta figure something out. That's not gonna make me go further in the chapter. And then for ELA, we're going to do our second vocabulary activity, and then I think we're going to read our first story. That's like a fictional text. It's kind of long, but we'll probably start reading that, and then I don't know if we'll get to questions, but if we could start reading that and then dissecting the story, that'll probably be good. I'll actually know we're doing writing a prompt. That's what we were doing. Absolutely. Oh my lord, that poor cat. Sorry, I just saw the deceased cat on the road. Poor baby. And it's really crazy because normally you won't see that, but you'll see like raccoons and stuff, but never a cat. So if somebody's cat got out. We don't have many strays around here, so hopefully that wasn't somebody's cat that got out and then he got killed. Poor baby. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna be doing writing a prompt today, not the story yet. So we'll be learning on how to write a prompt. So that's what we're gonna do. And then social studies and science. Science, I think we are moving on to shoot, I don't even remember. I'd have to look. It was such a long day yesterday. But yeah, I will I'm on my way to work right now, and once I get there, I'll be able to kind of look through and see what we're doing, and then just kind of give you a better report than I am doing currently. So but I hope you guys had a great Wednesday and you guys are trucking along, making it to Friday. Good morning and happy Friday. They are back, as you can see, and I am so excited that I remembered and that it's Friday. It has been a very long week, and funny enough, I mean, this is our official first week back, and so I can imagine, why it would be that long. I'm just not really used to having that long week of work. But overall, it's been pretty good. Can't complain. I'm just excited that the weekend is here, so I can take a little break. I feel like I have to catch up on stuff, and I don't mean like anything like drastic, but I want to be able to kind of set myself into a routine now that like the week has gone through. I know my kids, they've all tested, and now I feel like I'm kind of ready to kind of like run things the way they need to, now that like I have like a blueprint of what I need to do. So that's going to be something that I try to tackle this weekend. I'm going to put that word in there, try, because I don't want to make a liar out of myself. So I'm going to try to do that. And then also my son has a baseball game tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. Hopefully he does well. He did really good on his last baseball game, which I think was Monday. And I think he went 2 for 3. He got an RBI, and he pitched a scoreless inning. So that was pretty good. I'm sure he was super duper excited about that. And then the weather's supposed to be nice. If you're in the Midwest, preferably in my area, I mean, it's supposed to be like in the 80s and 90s this weekend, which I almost feel like summer's just like its last little hurrah, trying to get in there before fall takes over officially. But I am excited for it, because not only is it a nice day for my son and baseball, but I get to enjoy the weather. It's supposed to be like 90 on Sunday, so that'll be nice. So we shall see. But other than that, yeah, so today, what are we doing? Oh, so we're learning more about order of operations. So I introduced it yesterday. I didn't talk anything about what it is. I just had the kids do 2 problems that were the exact same, and then the directions just told them how to do them differently, so they could see that they had 2 different answers. So I'm hoping that that kind of like gets their brain moving until we get to, because today we're just going to do example 1, which is just talking about order of operations and what we do first, second, third, fourth, and so on. PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which everybody knows, right? And then, well, apparently not, because my one friend, I was talking to her yesterday, and I was showing her the anchor chart that I was making. And, she's just like, well, I was in school. I didn't, she's very funny. And she's like, I didn't need all like the anchor charts and blah, blah, blah. She's like, I don't even know what that is. And I was like, how do you not? I was like, I feel like everybody in school learned about please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Everybody hated Sally because she was probably doing something that she needed to be excused for. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to introduce that so that way they can understand how to do the, that they know like the steps and what comes first, what comes second. And then tomorrow, not tomorrow. Monday, I think we're going to talk about, we're going to incorporate exponents into the equation, because they did the exponents. So, but I wanted them to do it separately and not have the exponents, because the exponents is like a whole thing, like another piece of the problem. And so I'm going to throw in the exponents in example 2. And then I don't know what 3 and 4 are, but I'm hopeful. I mean, because the exponents and the power and exponents lesson went pretty well. I feel like a lot of them knew the concept. The only thing that I feel like they struggled with was multiplication, was like multiplying the stuff. Hold on one second, because I'm at Starbucks.
Good morning, what can I start for you?
Hi, I had a mobile order for Diana.
For Diana, there we got that window.
Awesome, thank you. And so, yeah, so they seem to understand that the only thing that they struggled with was the multiplication, which makes sense, because if I was giving them 6 to the, 7th power, they had to be able to multiply, like, once they got to like 6 times 6 and then 36 times 6, it's like as they got higher. And I told them, I said, look, I am not here to make sure that you know your multiplication facts. Like, we are kind of done with that at this point. We're in 6th grade. So, use the calculator if you need to. I'm more so concerned now about you using the strategies and the steps to answer the problem, because it's no more of just like two numbers being multiplied. This is like multiple steps, problems that they need to do. So like them knowing how to multiply and divide on their own in their head. I mean, it is a nice skill to have, but at this point it's obsolete. So I just tell them like, you can use a calculator for that, just as long as you understand the steps. So the cool thing is that, like I said, I feel like they understood what they needed to do, and they understood what the base was. They understood what the smaller number was. They understood what the power was. So I'm hopeful that like this will be easy for them, but I feel like they're just gonna, I feel like usually the big struggle is just, you know, certain parts, especially if they're not used to seeing certain things. So like if they're not used to seeing a number to like a problem in parentheses, you know, or seeing a number next to a parentheses, knowing that it's multiplication. So like those little things, but we're going to work on it. We're going to get it. I'm going to make sure they get it. And then, yeah, that's it. So that's what we're doing for math. ELA, we did our, what did we do on ELA yesterday? Oh, we wrote to a prompt, and I feel like they did pretty well. There was a couple of kids that struggled, but they didn't struggle with what we were doing. It was more so they had struggled with just kind of like adding extra stuff to it. So like the prompt had asked for 2 traits, they had only put 1, and so I was like, oh, you got to pick another one, and you got to, you know, give your reason. And they were fine with it, and they did pretty good. So I was excited about that. Today we're reading another story called Home, and we'll see kind of how that goes. Because it's a very long story. It's a great story, it's just really long. And so, all right, goods are secured and we are on our way. It says I'm supposed to be there at 7, probably now I'm gonna be there, it's like 7:40ish. It said 7:37 before, but stopping at Starbucks, there was a little bit of a line, but I love mobile ordering, so I'm okay with that. Anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna read this story called Home, and it's about a little girl who, or not a little girl, it's about a girl who she's like, they're looking to adopt a brother like overseas, a little boy, and so she's super excited about bringing him home. She's like, I want a brother, like I can't wait to bring him, show me his things. And then when he gets here, he starts to disrupt her life. I mean, and not in like a bad way, but like things that she didn't anticipate to take place. And you know, it's because of like the culture, and because like he has never been in that environment. Like he's never, you know, had his own things, or he's never like, you know, been so free range to do stuff. And so she's like upset that she's upset that like he's like disrupting her life. And then, you know, now she's starting to regret having a little brother. But then she realizes that like, you know, obviously she just has to have more patience and understanding, and you know, that she really does, you know, she really is happy that they brought him home. But anyway, it's a really long story, but the nice thing is that this is the first time we're going to do all 3 parts. So we're going to do the whole group read, the independent read, and the partner read. So that'll be nice. We'll probably not get to any of the questions, but at least we'll get a chance to at least read the whole entire story and talk more about the story and what it entails, and like what skill we're going to be using. But that's about it. And then social studies and science. Science, we talked about different types of scientists, like microbiologist, biologist, marine biologist. There was another one that they were kind of talking about. So we read that yesterday. So I have no clue what's on the agenda for today with science. And then social studies, we need to do section 1.2, which is talking more about elements of culture. So that's my day. But yes, so I'm heading to work. I will check in with you guys a little bit later and kind of just see how things are going. Hopefully good. And I hope that you get to enjoy your Friday. And yeah, I'll check in with you guys later. Hello, it is Friday at 3:16. So we are out the door. Well, I normally don't rush out so quick, but I promised my kids that I would pick them up from school today so that we can hang out at the park afterwards. And so I'm like trying my best to rush home. I got caught by the bus that was picking up our kids. So like it literally says 3:35. They get out at 3:30. I know that someone will either pick them up, but I kind of wanted to be there so that way they know we can still go to the park, because I know they're going to be disappointed if I'm not there. So I'm rushing out, but I just wanted to hop on to kind of just tell you a little bit more about my day. We ended up doing this really cool like math mysteries. So we did a little bit like that last year when we did review at the end of the year, but this year I decided to use it during our order of operations. And so the kids were really excited because we learned about order of operations, and then I had them do this math mystery with a partner, so that like, so what it is, it's basically like there's like a prankster in the jungle, and their goal is to find clues to figure it out. And the only way that they're going to be able to find the clues is if they solve the problem, and it gives them the letter and they fill in and then they read the clues. So the nice thing is that there's 5 pages of this, so there's 5 clues. So today we did page 1, so we eliminated 2 suspects. And so the rest of the week, next week, we'll continuously do a different page so we can eliminate all suspects, and then we can figure out by the end of the week who the prankster was from a list of suspects that we have, like with their characteristics, like, you know, because there are other animals, so like how many legs they have, like what kind of species, their habitat. And so it's pretty cool. It really got them into order of operations, and I really seen just some of them and how they did it. And the nice thing was that a lot of them were like, I can't figure this out. Sorry, my phone's like moving. I can't figure this out. Like, this number is not coming up. I don't have this number. And so this was kind of really nice, because then I was like, well, if this number doesn't exist, then that means that you did the problem wrong. Let's go back and figure it out. And so then they started to see like where they were making their mistakes. So that was pretty cool. That was probably my best part of it, that they were able to see their mistakes, go back and correct it. And then they're like, oh, okay, that's the answer. So that was really nice. I'm going to turn the air on in here. I closed my windows and now I'm like sweating. But that was really nice. So overall, math was great. I ended up giving them, like we do these Bobcat badges. And I ended up giving them Bobcat badges for that, because they all did phenomenal. And then, what else? And then we did really good in ELA. We read home our story, but we only read like the whole group read, which was just like me reading and then us like working together to do it. On Monday, we're going to do the independent piece, and then I think we'll do the partner read as well, because it's not that long. So we'll do the partner read on Monday as well, and then we'll start getting into answering the questions, because it is a really long story. And so like my students, like after we did the whole read, they were like, oh my goodness, can we do a prank break? Because it was just like really intense, and they're not used to it. So I'm trying like my best to make sure I slow pace it for them in the beginning until they get adjusted to it, so that way like they'll eventually get to the point where we won't have to stop so often. But it's just something that's new to them. And like I said, because of them, you know, just from the consciousness of people telling me like where they are academically, like it just makes me nervous to like jump into, you know, doing it like gung-ho, and then like them falling behind or them not understanding, because you know, they're not academically where like they should be. And this curriculum is a little bit like intense. So but yeah, and everything else was really good. It was a really good day. I'm loving this group. They are super duper fun. They're super duper hilarious. They're super duper respectful. I mean, they are silly at times, and I kind of have to like put my mama voice on, and then they kind of get back to their, you know, to their original needing to be a student. But other than that, like not like last year where I had like a couple